Hi, it's Callie, and I am making my first video in a while, but today I'm using the end of the bottle of my Mona Lisa gilding size because, believe it or not, I was up really late gilding ornaments a few nights ago, and I spilled almost the entire bottle on my white linen duvet. Um, but I think I want to try a different brand anyways. So, today I am taking a vintage letter from the late 1800s and a floral stamp, and I am making something pretty with it, as you will see. I love gilding, okay? I have been taking classes online from Charles Douglas, and I cannot recommend that enough, okay? He is such a wonderful human being, and Charles, if you're listening to this, I want to be your bestie. Like, I want to gild you a friendship bracelet, and yeah, I want to be your friend. So, anyways, thank you for always inspiring me and giving me the tools, because as you know, if you're really into gilding, it's hard to get the information online, and when it comes to gold and modern products, it's hard to know how new products are going to interact with gold. So I really appreciate that Charles teaches like the tried and true techniques, but also experiments with some new ideas. So here I am. I'm just spraying the glue very lightly on the back of the rubber stamp, and I want to omit the word, so I am omitting that part. But I wasn't too heavy-handed, and I'm just gonna place it on there and give it a good press to make sure all the little details are incorporated. Y'all, I just want to gild everything, seriously. And I have little pieces of gold and metal leaf floating all over my house. And actually, I don't know if you know about me. I'm joking, but I've been a wedding photographer for the last 13 years. And I noticed whenever I shot a wedding on Saturday that the back of my camera actually had like 24 karat gold pressed into where my thumb goes, which was funny. But yeah, I can't gild enough things. So, I'm gonna let this dry for maybe 15 minutes and get out all my gilding goodies. I have a gilder's knife and a gilder's pad, and I will say, oh, this is my squirrel. I forget the technical name of this brush, but it's what you use to lay the gold leaf. And this is 23 karat gold, and I'm using it because anything of 23 carats and above does not have to be sealed. And I would put a varnish on it if it was a metal leaf less than 23 karat gold, or gold that's less than 23 carats, but I don't want to varnish this letter because I like to keep the paper looking exactly like it is. So the good stuff it is, and it's a good bit harder to work with, and I learned that the hard way, because if you even breathe too heavy or the air turns on while you're gilding, you will have a very expensive sheet of gold just flying through the air. And as soon as you touch it, it's so thin and precious that it sort of just presses into your fingertips. So pardon me, Charles, again, if you're watching this, don't judge my early attempts. But anyways, I really enjoy learning, so I'm trying not to be too hard on myself. So I am picking up the leaf and gently placing it over where I have put the glue down. And you know what is super cool? You can actually make gilding glue out of it with an egg. More on that later, or maybe just take Charles's class and he will show you how to do it, and he is professional and I definitely am not. Maybe one day, I mean, a girl can dream. But anyways, I'm using the water-based size. And this packet of gold has mostly been used up I am bummed to say time to place another order. It's so funny. I get so many packages a day. My husband is like, oh, look, more art supplies. And when he recently introduced himself to some people we were meeting, he said, hi, I'm Hunter. I am the buyer of Callie's art supplies when they asked what he does. Gotta love a supportive man, am I right? So I laid down another leaf because I just had a partial leaf that I wanted to use first. And I am laying it on the pad. As you can see, oh my gosh, look how fragile it is. And it can very quickly turn into a crumpled up mess, which just breaks my heart. So I was able to work this one a little more to get it to lay flat. And that feels really good, I have to say. Yes. I mean, I do have some skill coming out of the woodwork. So I'm just gonna cut off a little piece because it's much easier to work with half sheets due to the size of the squirrel. I need to remember what the name of that brush is. But it's much easier to work with smaller pieces. And I'm just sort of patting it down. And since this paper has been creased and folded and who knows where, and that's one thing I love about working with the vintage letters because they just seriously have a life of their own. And it makes regular paper so boring. I cannot get enough vintage letters. I am here to tell you. I have a pretty good stockpile. Oh, and let me just tell you this, but I'm seriously going to have to cut myself off because I will just go on and on and on about it. But I found a set of 300 love letters between an engaged couple in the 1930s in Savannah. They lived in Savannah, and she was an artist. And he went to Yale for seminary. And I will have to tell you more about this later because it gets so crazy, this story, and about how it ties into, you know, my life. And I actually found their daughter and tried to befriend her, and she's not really, I met with her a few times and it was very lovely, but I don't think she wants to be my long-term friend like maybe Charles does. So anyways, I'm just back to my artwork. I am making sure I've covered all of the glued parts. And every now and then, as you can see, I'm just kind of sticking my finger to it to see if there are any outlying edges that I may have missed. And after I finish this, I'm taking it to be professionally float framed and maybe do some torn edges. It's going to be gorgeous. So I'm using a super soft mop brush, and I'm just going to pat it down a little bit, very gently. Actually, my mom made me this handkerchief. But it had the tightest weave that was least likely to make an indentation. So I just put some cotton in there and I'm dabbing it. But, oh my gosh, here comes the most exciting part. Are you ready? Because whenever you brush away the excess, I found a small little piece that needed, just to be safe, adding it. But it is, I don't know if it's ASMR, if it's visual. I honestly don't know much about ASMR, but it feels so dang good whenever you brush the gold and then your image is remaining. Oh my gosh, this is why I am obsessed. And I will just be real with you, transferring from a very, busy full-time photography business to doing more, hold on, moment of silence. I mean, yes, glorious, am I right? But I get carried away, okay? I get an idea and then I say I'm just going to take 15 minutes. I'll do my emails after that. And then like 3 hours goes by. And I have a toddler and I always do this during nap time. So there it goes. So when you don't hear from me for several days or like a week or let's be real, like 2 weeks, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. This is why. But do you blame me? Because look at this gloriousness. Yeah, I'm definitely about to go on a rubber stamp binge on eBay. Don't you people out there in the world who are, I'm sure you're so wonderful, but don't you be going to buy up all my vintage stamps I'm about to go buy, okay? Or if you do, make something beautiful and then send me a photo of it, okay? My Instagram is at Callie Beale, Callie Beale, and this piece will actually be available on my website, calliebealeharper.com. But look, and it's super hard to catch the full effect on camera, but it glows. Yes. I mean, how fun is this? Super fun. So, to even it out a little, I did decide to rip off this edge, which I will use to make something else really fun, I'm sure, at at Isaac's next nap time. But yeah, I think it's going to be beautiful, framed and matted, and it'll go on to live, maybe another 100 years on someone's wall. So thank you for watching. Can't wait to share more.